Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Friday, December 15th. Accumulating snow is back on the table for at least parts of the mid-Atlantic region for later today into early tonight. It looks like low pressure will form just off the mid-Atlantic coastline later today in time to generate some accumulating snow for parts of the mid-Atlantic region. If you're in the far northern and western suburbs of the big cities, you may get little, if any, in the way of snow later today. But if you're in the immediate big city region of D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and closer to the coast, you could get a couple of inches. In fact, by the South Jersey coastline, they could end up with 3 or 4 inches of snow by the time this event winds down later this evening. Let's start off by looking at the surface map. We have low pressure over South Carolina this morning. It looks like that will intensify and move northeast to a position right off the mid-Atlantic coastline by later this afternoon, early part of this evening. Now, the best chance of snow will be in this general region right in here, basically close to the low pressure area. Again, if you're in the far northern and western suburbs of Philadelphia, the far northern and western suburbs of D.C., you may get little, if any, in the way of snow. But if you're in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, or interior South Jersey, and anywhere very close to those metro regions, you could end up with a dusting to a couple of inches of snow from this afternoon into this evening. And unfortunately, it looks like there can be some slippery spots in any of these big city metro regions for the evening commute. This low will pull away later on tonight. Basically a cold day on Saturday, but then a milder trend. Certainly, compared to what we've had in the past several days, a milder stretch of weather for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Well, let's take a quick look at the radar. Not much going on right now. We had kind of a very nice sunrise here in the Philly metro region. Red sky early in the morning. You know the old saying, red sky in morning, sailor's warning. And indeed, it clouded up shortly after that sunrise. And now it looks steely gray, kind of looks like the feel of snow. And this is the area right now associated with that developing low pressure system. And we'll watch for radar echoes to expand during the next few hours. This is certainly not a guaranteed snow event here, so we'll monitor from an hour-by-hour basis here at VencoreWeather.com. But again, the best chance for snow from this developing low pressure area will be in this general region right here, south and central New Jersey, across southeastern Pennsylvania, down to the D.C. metro region, and across the Delmarva Peninsula. If you go out to the far northern and western suburbs, you have less of a chance, and it's likely to be little, if any, in the way of snow. Well, let's take a quick look at last night's European model run. First, we'll just take a quick couple of snapshot looks at the forecast at 500 millibars. This is the area of interest right here. This is a wave of energy as of the middle of the night sitting over the upper part of the Midwest. Let's move ahead 12-hour increments. By early this morning, it moves over the central part of the Great Lakes, and then by later today, the eastern part of the Great Lakes, and then finally by early tonight, here is kind of a negatively tilted axis here in the upper part of the atmosphere. That should generate enough upward motion right in this region here to form low pressure, and enough upward motion to produce some snow, especially again closer to the coastline, like Jersey, Philadelphia itself, D.C., Prince George's County. Again, as you go farther and farther to the north and west, places like Pottstown or Manassas in the D.C. metro region, you have less of a chance of snow. Maybe a dusting out in the northern and western suburbs, but up to a couple of inches in the immediate metro regions and points to the east closer to the coastline. And right along the immediate South Jersey coastline, they could end up with 3 or 4 inches of snow by the time the storm winds down later this evening. Well, let's now take a look at last night's surface forecast maps from the 0Z European model run. By the way, these maps from WSI Incorporated. This is for the middle of the night, and just a little bit of a indication of low pressure here along the mid-Atlantic region. Let's jump ahead 6 hours, and here we go. Low pressure starting to show up here early today along the Mid-Atlantic coastline. Let's go out another 6 hours, and here we go. Intensifying low pressure, moving to the north and east. Plenty of cold air in place. That's not an issue here. But notice here, a little bit of dark here, starting to put out a little bit of precipitation. It should suddenly appear on the radar over the next few hours. Certainly by midday, there should be some snow over the D.C. metro region showing up on radar. Then we go another 6 hours by early this evening. Here we go. Pretty healthy looking area of precipitation in the form of snow extending from extreme southeastern Pennsylvania across D.C. metro region, Delmarva Peninsula, and central and South Jersey as low pressure intensifies off the New Jersey coastline. So again, the best chances for a couple of inches of snow will be in the immediate areas of the big cities, the District of Columbia, Philly, New York City, and points to the east of there to the coastline, where it could end up being 3 or 4 inches of snow by the South Jersey coastline, for example. The least chance of accumulating snow later today, early tonight, will be in the far northern and western suburbs of all three of these big city areas. Stays cold on Saturday. Finally, a milder stretch of weather for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. That's it for now. Stay tuned to VencoreWeather.com for possible updates later today. I'm meteorologist Paul Orion.